I hope you've had a good start to your new year. If you haven't, there's still time. I hope that if you've made your New Year's resolutions, that you stick to them this year. And for myself personally, I've got no New Year's resolutions because I kind of stick to the game plan. So I've started a new year, um, just continuing on from last year and the year before that. But that's small talk. The big talking point, obviously, and my good friend ST was saying to me that I should do something about it, is to talk about Tyson Fury's retirement yet again. So, if let's take you back to the press conference for the Usyk Tyson Fury 2 fight. Let's take you back to when I said to you, this Tyson Fury, this time round, yes, Jay Ruth, Happy New Year, brother. This time round, I said he's after this fight, he looks like a man that wants to retire. He looks like a man who doesn't want to be around anymore. And I think inside himself, in my opinion, I don't think he believed he could beat Usyk. I believed he thought to himself, right, I'm going to try my best. I'll bulk up in weight and let me see if I can blast this guy out of there. Because if you're coming into a fight using the strategy you used against a man who can't box, which is Deontay Wilder, then to bring that strategy in, when I say can't box, I don't say it in a disrespectful sense. I mean in sense to the caliber of someone like Alexander Usyk. You know, you can't compare the two guys in terms of boxing ability. For me, I always thought Wilder was an overachiever in sense of what he came into boxing to do. What he came into boxing to do was to secure and to help a member of his family, right? And that's an honourable thing to do. And he had that big right hand, and if you were anywhere near that right hand, you were in trouble, you know, because he was getting, I mean, against Luis Ortiz, for example, he was getting thoroughly outboxed. But that right hand, that equaliser, and I told everybody, even in a rematch for the Luis Ortiz fight, Ortiz might be winning the fight. Don't worry about that. One right hand, and Ortiz is going to be out flat, and that's what happened. But anyway, so my point is, when you go and take that strategy, and people are like, yeah, if he comes in the way he came in against Wilder too, I'm like, hold on, you're the same people. And I'm kind of repeating myself, but for the new people that have come to the channel, you kind of get a flavour of what's coming here. You're talking about Wilder not being good, he's a windmill, he's a this, he's a that, he's not a good boxer, you know. But then when Fury beats him, he's the best thing since sliced bread. And, you know, it's the blueprint for boxing. Like, oh, yeah, if you beat Deontay Wilder now, suddenly that's the strategy you go against everybody and anybody in the world with. So you got away with it against Dillian White. You got away with it against Chisora. You got away with it against... you almost got beat... Well, you should have got beat by Ngannou. And I'll come and visit that in a minute. And then, you try and box that similar way against Usyk and come unstuck. You say you were clowning in the fight, but for me, I thought you were nervous and intimidated by Usyk. You said all these things about Usyk. Oh, he's a foreigner. He's a gappy tooth. He's a blown up middleweight. If I can't beat Usyk, if I can't beat Usyk, that was never bloody any good. Well, mate, that's what you said. I didn't say that, and that's when you talk too much. That was never bloody any good. Well, now, you know, these words come back to haunt you because 2 fights now, you've been beaten by the blown gappy tooth middleweight, and you said if you couldn't beat Usyk, you're never any good. So now you've got to sit with yourself in retirement with them statements. I was never any good. From Turkey. Hello from Turkey. How are you? Hello, Turkey. Salam alaikum. Salam alaikum. Not gonna lie, I just took the biggest dump of my life in a few minutes. I'm delighted you took a big dump. Good. I hope you've had more dumps since this dump, and you continue to have dumps. Thank you, brother. Thank you. So, for me, when I think about Fury, and he said, I'm gonna end you. And what's happened? You're the one now who's been beaten. You're the one whose career has been ended by the gappy two foreigner that nobody wanted to fight and wasn't getting enough money. You've got paid your two fights. You've got paid over 100 million. I mean, come on. So you've got to deal with a taxman. That's not my business. But anyway, that has manifested itself to be your biggest payday, bigger than the Deontay Wilder fights, and the chance to fight for undisputed. You say you're retired. So there's a lot of things to unwrap here. So when you go back to the Ngannou fight, a fight I felt, in my opinion, just my opinion, I felt that Fury got beat by Ngannou that night, right? If Fury lost that fight against Ngannou, let's just think about it for 1 second. The whole thing about him getting... If he got Ngannou in Ngannou's first fight, he didn't get beat by Ngannou in that fight. We would have then been seeing not Fury versus Usyk. Take that out a second. So the Anthony Joshua fight wouldn't have happened. So we should have had Ngannou versus Usyk if we want, but that fight would not have made the sort of money that Fury versus Usyk would have made. Right? So let's think about that. He's made a lot of money, but he's been found out. You will make even more money to come out of retirement and fight Joshua, of course. So I'm going to come to that retirement thing coming out to fight Joshua. Of course, I know Ajit Kabayel. I've always rated Ajit Kabayel as one of the best heavyweights in the world, but this is not about Ajit Kabayel. This is about Tyson Fury. So please allow me to continue. Tyson Fury should have got beat by Ngannou. Let's state that. So he should have got beat by Ngannou. Then Fury, if he had been given that defeat against Ngannou that night, we would have got Usyk versus Ngannou. Think that a second, just for a second. Ngannou versus Usyk. A one-fight novice beating the heavyweight champion of the world, the linear heavyweight champion of the world, beating him. Just for 1 second, think about that. And then, for me, I think Fury gets a gift decision against Ngannou. This dude then has the audacity to come out afterwards and say, at least Dick Turpin wore a mask. I think people were robbed of Ngannou versus Usyk. And Ngannou was robbed of a victory against Fury. Fury did not, I don't care if Fury came in prepared, unprepared, didn't sparred. You're a professional. You should be in shape, ready to fight. Simple as. Unless you're playing undisputed. Well, if you play, Shalom, good evening. If you're playing undisputed, in that case, then sometimes you fight fights which are, you come in unfit, overweight, underprepared. And if you, I am playing undisputed. I thought I'll just plug that. I'm playing undisputed at the moment. I've just had one career with Robin Reed. He's gone and become world champion. Absolutely awesome fight to become world champion. And now I'm managing the career of Deontay Wilder. And that's been a complete horror. But anyway, let's get back to my point. So Fury now goes back into retirement. But the difference about those self-imposed retirements before, he was unbeaten. No, I haven't. He was unbeaten. I just don't have time. I don't have time to do whatever anybody's doing, to be honest, because I don't even have time to do my own videos. So he was unbeaten in all those times he retired or self-imposed his retirement, right? Think it a second. So the 2 times he's been, or 3 times or 8 times he's retired, he's been unbeaten. If he comes out of retirement now, he is only coming out for one and one reason only. And you're not going to like me saying this, but he's coming back to potentially get knocked out by Anthony Joshua. And if he gets knocked out by Anthony Joshua, who got stopped by Danny Dubois, who got beat by Usyk, who got trounced on by Andy Ruiz, what will that say about Fury's career? And it's not to say that Joshua hasn't got the power to stop Fury now. We've seen Fury get rocked and badly hurt by the blown up middleweight. The foreigner. the gappy tooth rabbit that he was going to end. Remember this. Back of his mind, he's saying, "Oh, he got robbed." That's fine, but I think you to fight against Ngannou, you should have lost the Ngannou fight. So now he's retiring. For what? To get more money against Joshua? Well, you both got beat by Usyk. So what are you negotiating? So who's the A side and who's the B side? Well, I don't know. Well, so I mean, he's earning a lot of money. Has Joshua made over 100 million in one fight? I don't know if he has. Did he? I don't even know if he's done that. So anyway, so I think he's gonna stay retired until he gets a number that he's satisfied with, and then he'll come out of retirement. That's what I think. But I think, with caution, Fury coming out of retirement, for first of all, he'll put on bags of weight because he's not going to fight, so he'll get bags of weight. I do caution as well in that retirement that he has now. If it's a bit of a retirement, then the motivation to come back to fight Anthony Joshua, he's not going to stay in the sort of shape that Joshua will stay. Joshua will stay in shape. Fury will be the one that won't be in shape, right? And then Fury's got to come, get back, drop the weight, get back into shape to fight Joshua. I mean, what's the motivation after getting hundreds of millions to fight? What's the motivation for Tyson Fury to come back and fight? I don't know. And you've been beat by a guy who's half the size of you. And you think, oh, I can beat Joshua. Yeah, you could beat Joshua when you felt you were invincible and unbeatable. But the fact of the matter is you've got 2 losses on your record now to the same guy. You've been staggered, you've been hurt, you've always been knocked out by Usyk. You come in a rematch, and Usyk doesn't knock you out this time. So you're going to come in heavier and try and bulldoze your way to beating Joshua. Is that the way you're going to do it? Because I don't see any other way you fighting Joshua. You're just going to bulk up, get big, and come in and try and knock Joshua out. I think Joshua's going to be in better shape. I don't know what sort of style Anthony Joshua's got now. He's got a hybrid style. Is he a boxer? Is he a puncher? Is he a slugger? Is he a boxer puncher? Is he a sniper? What style has Anthony Joshua got now? And at 35, how much has he got left? So I don't know. I don't know what people. You've got somebody who got absolutely smashed to bits by Daniel Dubois in Anthony Joshua. I don't know if he threw the fight or not, because he looked absolutely reckless. I don't want to take anything from Dubois, but the way Joshua came in the ring, he looked reckless. He come up with his chin up in the air. I've never seen Anthony Joshua box so bad. I never rated him as a top boxer. I always thought he was me personally, I always thought he was a guy that should have, had he had one trainer, not Rob McCracken. I think he would have done well with Derek James if he had one trainer that would have taught him how to throw punches, when to throw punches and when not to throw punches, or when to engage and when not to engage. Because I always thought Joshua was very good boxing. I always thought he always got himself into trouble when he went on the attack. That's how I knew that Ruiz was going to knock him out in the first fight. But I said he'd get caught with a counter left hook, and that would be the beginning then of Joshua. And that's exactly what happened. Joshua's good when he boxes. He's okay when he actually boxes. But when he tries to attack, it's like he doesn't know, like he forgets his own defense. Fury's greedy belly. He'll be back when they dangle more pound notes looking like Michelin Man. Yeah, I know. But he's greedy belly. It's dangerous for him. I would fight Joshua as soon as possible. I'd fight Joshua as soon as possible. He just got knocked out by Dubois. Now, let's take into consideration Joshua knows he got done by Dubois in sparring. I believe those stories were true. And I believe he always thought that he didn't have the confidence to beat Dubois. That's what I thought. Didn't have the confidence to beat Usyk. He beat Ruiz, but Ruiz was terribly out of shape. Now, remember, I was thinking about this on the way home. Joshua and Fury sparred before. And in the sparring session there, Joshua got the better of Fury in sparring. Now, I know that's just grabbing at things, but It certainly worked for Dubois when he went and fought Joshua, and he went and fought what's his name, Herkovich. I said Herkovich and Joshua will overlook Dubois because of the things that happened when he was younger. I said, now Dubois is a man, not a boy no more, and both of them are in trouble. And we saw what happened in the end. So people say, oh, Fury beats Joshua. Why are you so sure Fury beats Joshua? These are the same people that said that Fury would beat Usyk. No, there's no guarantee that Fury beats Joshua. And I'll tell you this now. Look at Ngannou. Ngannou was a one-fight novice, and he was physically stronger than than Fury. Every time Fury went up physically against Ngannou was like a rock. It depends on how Fury goes about trying to box Joshua. As far as I'm concerned, it's not a simple thing as before. I would say, oh yeah, Fury beats Joshua. I don't think so anymore. I don't think it's as simple as that. I don't think it's as cut and dried as that. You've got a guy now that is going to possibly go. He's gone into retirement now. What's he going to do in retirement? Is he going to keep in shape for the Joshua fight, or is he really retired? Is he really upset because he got beat by Usyk? Well, he's not the champ no more. He's not walking around as a champ no more. So I don't think Fury just comes and beats Joshua like that. I don't think it's simple and as cut and dried as that. Joshua's the one who's going to be keeping in shape. Have you ever seen Joshua out of shape? Have you ever seen Joshua out of shape? Stars make fights. I think the overhand right of Joshua is a big factor in the fight. He's got a good jab. He's got a decent jab, Joshua. And if you can double up the jab and back Fury to the ropes, we've got a fight. And if Usyk can wobble him, I don't know how anybody can have confidence in Fury's chin if Joshua whacks him with a right hand over the top like he hit what's this guy's name? Robert Helenius. That right hand over the top. I don't see Fury taking that right hand. I honestly don't. And I think the Joshua fight is more dangerous now than ever for Fury. It's more dangerous now than ever. Fury's style is different. Fury's style is not the style we had when he fought like Klitschko. That style is well and truly gone. And the style he's got now is limited. It is limited. Is it enough to beat Joshua when they actually decide to fight? I don't know. But I don't just think it's, oh, Fury beats Joshua. I don't think it's as cut and dried as that. How long is Fury going to stay out of the ring? Is the fight going to happen in the summer? If the fight happens in the summer, maybe. If the fight doesn't happen in the summer and it happens at the end of this year, interesting. So I just don't think it's just a case of that anymore. And this is a guy that's been beaten twice now. Nassim Hamid was never the same fighter once he got beat by Barrera. He was not the same fighter. Some guys, when they get beat, they don't have that aura of invincibility about them. And this is a guy, Fury, 6'9" or 7 or whatever tall he is, that got beat by a guy who's 6'3". Got beat by a small guy and got wobbled. If I'm Anthony Joshua, I'm looking at this and saying, this guy was punch drunk almost around the ring, dancing to all four corners of the ring by Usyk. And surely, if I nail him with a right hand, he'll more than go. Everybody's talking about Fury retiring. What about Isaac Lowe? Where will his tongue wag next? LOL. I don't know. I guess that Joseph Parker will get a great training camp because obviously Fury's not there now. So Parker gets a great camp with Dubois. But again, I don't think Parker. I don't think it's a foregone conclusion. A lot of people think that Parker's going to go in there and he's going to smash Dubois. Now, if he doesn't smash Dubois, I don't want to hear excuses. I don't want to hear that how Dubois was, Parker was over the hill. He wasn't ready. I don't want to hear those excuses. I don't want to hear those excuses at all. Not at all. Don't want to hear those excuses. Parker, Dubois. No, Parker was over the hill. Who did he ever knock out? Who did he ever beat? Because everyone's pushing for this Parker fight. Parker. I don't know, but I think I favour Dubois in this fight. I think he's got a much more of a work rate than Parker. He can work at a pace. And Parker's getting punched and dropped by Zhang. So if he's getting popped and dropped by Zhang, for sure he's going to get dropped and hurt by Dubois, for sure. Don't believe Joshua catches him. Fury's always been a better overall fighter. Yes, lost twice, and Joshua's lost 4. I remember Cunningham rocking Fury bad. He can get hit, but he won't be stopped by Joshua. Well, mate, hey, mate, I've said it already to you. Fury's coming back to get stopped by Joshua. That's what I feel. He's coming back to get, and I'm not that Joshua fan. Stars make fights, and timing is everything. You said he doesn't get stopped. Listen, people came in this room and told me, Usyk can't hurt Fury. Usyk can't hurt Fury. I said, let Fury get hit by Usyk. He'll know about it. Boxing is about timing. Remember, Barry, we can talk about timing. This is probably the best time for Joshua to fight. It's a Dubois and Fury are 2 different types of fighters. First of all, Fury doesn't punch with the sort of dynamite that Dubois does. 1, 2. Fury won't come running out the tracks to Joshua. Fury will box more at Joshua's pace. He'll box more at Joshua's pace. So I don't see that. Fury, a money fight. Fury can be hurt, of course. Cunningham is a prime example. But we're not. You're talking about all game years ago, man. I'm talking about just round the corner where he was rocked and should have got stopped stopped in that first fight in all accounts. If that was the other way around, if that was Usyk rocking around that ring like that, that would have been stopped. That fight would have been stopped. In any British ring, if that was Usyk rolling around those four corners of the ring, it would have been stopped. Right? And I'll tell you now, if Joshua connects on Fury's chin, it is good night. There's none of this, he's going to be hanging around. He's getting knocked out at this stage of his career because he's big and he's heavy. He's not light on his feet. He gets caught with more punches now. And Usyk's style is different to Joshua's style. Very different style. Right? So I think it's a dangerous fight for. And imagine he gets knocked out by. Just for a second. Imagine he gets knocked out by Joshua. Imagine it. Just wait a second. Imagine Fury gets knocked out by Joshua. Just for a second, he's there laid out flat. Boom. Where does Fury's career go from that? Where do people rate Fury after that? It can happen, man. It can happen. Me, I would retire and keep away from Anthony Joshua. Because if you get knocked out, it's not worth for the money. If you get knocked out by Anthony Joshua, what happens then? Where does your career go? You get knocked out by a dude that got wiped out by Dubois, that got wiped out by Andy Ruiz, that got beat up twice by Usyk. What's the value in your win if you beat Joshua? There's more for Fury to lose fighting Joshua because everyone believes, for the most part, that Fury beats Joshua. That's what they believe. Let him keep it that way. You come out of retirement and you go fight Joshua. And you get done. You get stopped. You get knocked out by Joshua. Yeah, a lot of money. But what will your legacy say? For Joshua, he's got everything to gain. He knocks that Tyson Fury. All the stuff that Fury's done. He knocks that Tyson Fury. You got to think about this. The risk and the reward. Biggest fight in British boxing? Yes. Possibly. I personally would rather see Tyson Fury fight Daniel Dubois. He wins back a version of the heavyweight championship of the world. 3-time heavyweight champion of the world. It's in-house. So if Dubois gets beat, Frankie Boy's got it covered. I'd rather him fight Dubois. And if he got beat by Dubois, then he got beat by an up-and-comer. I'd rather see that fight. Strategically. I would swerve a Joshua fight. Because there's much more to lose. Not just about money. And you know how fickle boxing fans are. You get beat by Joshua. Fans won't say, oh yeah, he got beat, but fans will say that it was always a hype job. Remember, these are some people that they were saying who went as far as to say that Tyson Fury would beat Muhammad Ali and he couldn't handle Usyk. I don't know, people. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Is it as easy as, Fury will come back and beat Joshua? Some people can look really terrible in some fights. Like, I'll give you an example. A good example. I remember when Evander Holyfield fought Bobby Ches, yeah? He looked terrible against Bobby Ches. Go back and watch the fight. He looked terrible against Bobby Ches. Guess who he fought after that? For somebody by the name of Mike Tyson. Yeah, Mike Tyson, I think he was WBC heavyweight champion of the world, I believe. Yeah. And then the next fight was Tyson versus Holyfield. And everybody said, Mike Tyson, Holyfield, he might have a heart attack in the ring. Holyfield, fear for his life. Holyfield is going to get battered and bruised. Tyson may kill him in the ring. Well, based on the Bobby Ches fight, you'd think, yeah. What does Holyfield go and do? Holyfield goes out there. He goes out there and he stops Mike Tyson in an absolute clinic. So styles do make fights. Yes, Alexander Usyk's number one. I know that. But I probably knew that before you knew that. Please do check out this channel. We've got some exclusive interviews with Usyk before he became world heavyweight champion. Check him out when he was cruiserweight champion of the world. Before he became cruiserweight champion of the world, I had to sit down with him. And Uncle Bashir, we sat down and we spoke. And then there's some videos of when he was in camp training for the Govotsky fight, so check it out as well. Usyk on this channel, do check out the interviews on that. Yes, Mike Tyson would have beaten Usyk. Mike Tyson would have. When we talk about Mike Tyson, which version of Mike Tyson? And then whenever I ask anybody, what's the best fighter Mike Tyson beat? They start. Team did a fantastic job with Mike. But Mike shown in his career, anytime that somebody punches him back and he has adversity, he doesn't come through. Holyfield fights, the Lewis fight, the Ruddock fights he struggled in. I mean, he beat Ruddock. I thought the first fight he fought Ruddock, that was a controversial stoppage. The second fight, he struggled against Ruddock. Well, he got a point decision in the end. But Mike, and Ruddock was a one-handed fighter, let's be honest. He fought Larry Holmes, and Larry Holmes, who had less time to prepare. I don't know. Mike Tyson is more myth than legend. And I'll always say it about Mike Tyson. Old Mike Tyson, which Mike Tyson you talk about? Tyson that came out when he fought Trevor Berbick, that Mike Tyson. That Mike Tyson. Nobody ever wants to admit, right? Mike Tyson's resume, if you go back and you're a historian, you go back and you listen to Bill Caton, the people behind Mike Tyson, he said they were fighting the bum of the week and their job was to make this guy look awesome. Not saying Mike couldn't fight, but he didn't fight. None of those champions that you could see were great champions. Who was a great champion that Mike fought? To me, a great champion that Mike fought in that era. Pinklon Thomas, Trevor Berbick, Pinklon Thomas, Michael Spinks at heavyweight, who was terrified of him. The men that stood up and punched Tyson back. Douglas, Mitch Green gave it a go. Tucker gave it a go. But, yeah, and those guys, none of those guys are going to go down to all-time greats. None of those dudes will come down as all-time greats. Good fighters, but not all-time greats. So you say he beat Usyk. He didn't beat Holyfield. He didn't beat Holyfield. So Mike Tyson, if he can't knock you out, he's got a problem. And Mike can't fight going backwards, remember. Mike can only fight going forwards. Mike can't fight backing up. So it's a fight that I don't think it's as simple as Mike beats Usyk. Because Usyk showed he's got a great chin. He took Joshua's punches. He's taking Fury's punches. He's taking Chisora's punches. I don't think it's as simple as Mike beating him. There's some guys I don't think Mike beats. I definitely don't think Mike beats George Foreman. I don't know if he beats Sonny Liston. You know, so I don't know. There's a lot of guys I don't think Mike beat a lot of all-time greats. I just don't. There's nothing in his resume that says he beat all-time greats. I don't. I see Mike Tyson as a good heavyweight, but I don't see him as a great heavyweight. I'm sorry. I don't see him as a great heavyweight. So I that's why, you say he beats Usyk, but Usyk undisputed cruiserweight champion, undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. And guess what? There's another guy who's undisputed cruiserweight champion of the world and undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. His name was Evander Holyfield. And Mike was meant to beat him. And you see how that turned out. Twice. So, in fact, the second fight was even worse than the first fight. Go and watch the second fight that Mike fought Holyfield. Holyfield's punching up Mike. He didn't like it. And he ended up biting him. That being said, Holyfield was using his head a lot in that fight. So, yeah. Anyway, I've gone off topic slightly here. By the way, again, do check out the playlist now. Undisputed. Leave a message in the comment section. Pick a fight you'd like me to use in career mode, and I'll definitely use that. Don't forget to rate and subscribe to the channel, of course. Really appreciate when you do. Leave comments in the comments section. And, yeah, it's just my personal opinion on Mike. I think Mike's great to watch, but more of a myth than a legend. A legend in the sense of, the entertainment he brought to us, the baddest man on the planet. But again, market employ, because I've always had this argument and nobody's actually come up with a good argument with this Mike Tyson thing. Mike Tyson was the baddest man on the planet, but who did he beat? Who was the baddest man on the planet? Who did he beat? Was Trevor Berbick the baddest man on the planet? Was Pinkton Thomas the baddest man on the planet? Was Mike Spinks the baddest man on the planet? I mean, Mike Spinks was a bad man at light heavyweight. He was a bad man at light heavyweight, and he punched up Jerry Cooney. But, I mean, great. That's pushing it, even for Mike's standards, pushing it. So, I'm not saying he wouldn't beat Usyk. But I won't put my house on him beating Usyk. Because Usyk has shown he's got a great chin, great pair of legs on him, can move left to right. He's certainly not going to stand in front of Mike. So Mike will miss Usyk with a lot of shots. And Mike won't be able to throw them sort of punches to Usyk. Lefty will move, dazzle Mike at times. Might catch Mike coming in. I don't know. I think. But then we look at the Chisora fight, and Mike is faster than Chisora, and he's got better movement, head movement and stuff. Don't know. Great fight. I think Mike's best chance of beating Usyk would be when he's with Cus D'Amato. At that point, that Mike Tyson right there, under Cus, because at least he was stable, balanced, and he was being mentored. After Mike left Cus D'Amato, I'm sorry. It was steady decline, because we knew that the people around him that weren't in his best interests. And then they all came to a crescendo, as they say, when he fought Buster Douglas. By then, Mike was all over the place, quite literally. I mean, yeah. Anyway, that's for another day. Who's going to beat Usyk now, you think? By the way, I like, what's his name? The cruiserweight champion. What's his name? I've just forgot his name now. I can see him. Jaya Pattaya. I think he's a dude that's got strength and power, and he's awesome, right? As a cruiserweight. But I have some problems with Jaya Pattaya. And here's the problem I have with Jaya Pattaya. That guy had three weeks notice, yeah, and he was a novice. Did you watch that fight again? You know, at the first or second round, Jay gets cracked with a right hand or a left hook, and he literally stands there frozen for a few seconds. He was stunned by that puncher. And that's a guy at 3 weeks' notice and a novice. Jay's not going to lay them kind of punches on Usyk. And Usyk's going to hit him back with something nasty as well. Jay's not going to walk up there at heavyweight and just punch up Usyk. It's not happening. It's not happening. And that guy who had 3 weeks' notice or whatever it was, or 3 weeks to prepare for fight, he took Jay Patai into a war. There's no way Usyk is going to let him lay hands on him like that. No chance. No chance. I think, a guy like Ajit Caballero would be a good fight for Usyk. A good fight for Usyk. And people laugh at me when I say this, but I always thought Joe Joyce would have been a dangerous, difficult fight for Usyk. And I'll tell you why. Usyk would have danced around him, yeah, but Joyce would have kept putting that pressure on Usyk. Kept putting that pressure on Usyk. And if you got Usyk against them ropes, you start punching Usyk up against them ropes. Because that's why I think Joyce is effective against the ropes. But if you keep center of the ring, Usyk dance rings around him. But it's that pressure. You need to be able to keep that pressure on Usyk. You need to have Usyk backing up, fighting, backing up. Not allowing Usyk to come forward and get into rhythms. If you allow Usyk to get, it's like Holyfield. Usyk's like Holyfield. You allow them guys to get into rhythm, you're finished. You've got to shut that. You've got to short circuit that rhythm by hard punching. And by tracking this guy. You can't just walk this guy back to the ropes. You've got to cut the ring off. You've got to cut the ring off against Usyk, but he's got great feet. So you've got to systematically cut the ring off. You've got to work the body systematically and slow him down. Not look to work punches to knock him out. Systematically. And then late second half of the fight, then go for him. But you've got to slow him down the first half of the fight. It depends what Bacody's got no defense. We saw that against against Anderson. He's got no defense. So you can't fight with your face in the heavyweight championship world. Sorry, you just cannot. That can only get you so far. Bacody, you can't fight with your face, man. I don't know how many times I've said this. You cannot fight. And in the heavyweight division, he didn't learn from the Michael Hunter fight, and he's still fighting the same way. He just got away with it against Jared Anderson. Anderson, who I thought would have had the faster hands and land good shots, he didn't. But I think that you can't fight with your head fight. You cannot fight with your face like Bacody does. You need a defense in the heavyweight division because every punch in the heavyweight division is lights out. So I expect to see, and he's another guy that when you start putting punches on him and start punching him back, we've got to go back to the ticker, because remember when he fought Hunter, when Hunter started punching up Bacody, he didn't like it. He was on his stool complaining to Billy Nelson, "Oh, I don't want to be here," almost. Remember? Go back and watch the fight again. So we need to see Bacody into some sort of adversity again. We need to see Bacody getting punched up again and see if he can come through that. If he can't come through that, take the same with Bacody. So I'm not going to jump on the whole Bacody bandwagon yet. Yeah, the next card is looking mad. The February card is looking wicked. There's some great fights there. Looking forward to it. Right, let me get out of here. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget, check out the playlist and check out Undisputed. Playing it now, and subscribe. Turkey has took over boxing and will edge out Eddie and Frank soon. I've said it already. I'll say it again. There will come a point where these promoters will just get a percentage for the fights they bring to Saudi. That's what I think will happen. 1, 2, I am still waiting for the Royal Rumble. What I mean by Royal Rumble, that is going to kick off eventually. Eventually, one of these fighters are going to punch one of these reporters. It is coming. Remember Uncle Ingram told you, one of these fighters are going to punch one of these reporters, right? And it's all going okay at the minute in Saudi. It's going okay at the moment. But something's going to happen soon. I swear. Turkey's got it under control at the moment, but eventually one of these guys, there's too many egos flying around. Way too many egos flying around. These promoters are doing way too many interviews, talking rubbish, utter rubbish. You're a promoter. Promote your fighters. Promote your fighters. And these reporters, right? Some of them are going to get punched. Somebody's going to get punched. It's not too far from it happening. Whether it's going to be one of these trainers that punches a trainer, one of these reporters in the mouth, because not everyone's hinged. It's coming. I told you this stuff about a boxing league coming. Wait for the Royal Rumble. Because everything here is all WWF. But I told you we'd have SmackDown versus Raw, which is 5 versus 5. I told you. It's happened. I told you that Frank Warren had a better stable than Eddie Hearn. I told you all, but you kept jumping at Eddie. I said Eddie's for money, Frank is for substance. Frank is great for matchmaking, Eddie is great for promotions. But you can't compare the two stables. I kept saying it. I've said it for years. Nobody listened to me. So we had to get 5 through 5 to put it right. All those Eddie Hearn people, their mouths are shut now. All them matchroom people, anytime matchrooms are played to me, all them bots are gone now. None of that. So, yeah. You know, and why these people are still doing what they're doing and they're behaving the way they're behaving, they're showing their cards, they're showing their faces. So when they're trying to put matches together and people are being difficult, today I have to work with you. Tomorrow I might not have to work with you. Or if I work with you, I'll work with you in a limited capacity. And I go back to that Tyson Fury fight with what's this dude? Ngannou. I wonder if that gift was from Turkey to make sure the fight with Usyk would be secured. But he was internally disappointed with Tyson Fury's preparation and professionalism. I wonder. And that's why we got at the end what we got with Usyk and Fury in the 2 fights. I don't know. Maybe I'm clutching at straws. I don't know. Right, let me get out of here. It's enough from me. Thank you all for watching as always. This has been BWTM Gaming. No, it's not. It's BWTM Sports Gaming. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to like, share the videos. And of course, do check out Undisputed on the channel right now. It's the next playlist down after these videos. Take care. All the best.